Okay, I thought it was a great day for Colorado State. I thought it was a great day for our seniors. Our seniors that played especially well. Offensive side of the ball, I thought Nick Stevens played outstanding. You know, he converted a lot of third downs. He delivered the ball to a bunch of different playmakers. Dalen Dawkins, again, continued to play really, really well. Mike did not have the numbers that he's had, but he was dictating a lot of coverage, which opened it up for other guys. Defensively, I thought Evan Colorado, a senior, played well. Darnell Thompson showed up and played extremely well. So I was proud of the guys for coming out and finishing and playing a good game. You know, it's been a difficult last 3 weeks, you know, but our guys responded and came out and finished the way I wanted to in the regular season. And now we got to, you know, finish our school year, focus on academics, and then get ready to play a bowl game wherever we go to, and hopefully finish strong.
Mike, was this just kind of what this team needed right now all the way around?
Well, I mean, we were fortunate that we had another opportunity to play another game, and it was at home, and for our seniors to go out and finish the way they did and execute at a really high level today was good to see.
Did you have a feeling that Nick would play this style of game for you? I mean, he's been up and down the last couple of weeks at times, but like you said, looked extremely solid today.
I haven't lost any confidence in Nick all year. You know, sometimes guys play good. Sometimes guys make some plays, and those things happen sometimes. And you know, we've kind of grown accustomed to, you know, him playing almost flawlessly. And when you make a mistake, we act like it's the end of the world. But you know, other teams make plays at times, and I think we responded well. I thought he responded well last week. You know, when we went through a little stretch there where he was a little bit off, and he came back and played extremely well, got us the 14-point lead. He's at a different place right now, his confidence. And for what they were doing defensively today, they were bringing safeties to both sides. They were internal pressures, outside pressures, corner blitzes, mixing up 3 down and 4 down. I thought he handled it really well all day. We knew coming into the game we would get some explosive plays, but we knew at times they would make us look sloppy because of everything that they did. And we just tried to focus on, they're going to make some plays. You know, we just got to line up and continue to play.
Was getting Body involved early part of the game plan, or was that a result of Dalen getting dinged up a little bit early?
No, it was he was going to go in the third series is when Body was going to go. He was the first alternate for Dalen if Dalen would have a situation like happened on the first drive. But his plan was him to start the third series, and then we would have a different back rotating in for Dalen. And Dalen got a little bit banged up when he got kind of slammed to the turf. But Body did a nice job. Good to see him come back. I think he scored 2 touchdowns. Still got to get him to run a little bit lower, running 2 upright. But, again, that's positive for him to come back after last week where I know he was disappointed.
Was it good to get Marvin in the mix as well?
Yeah, it was great to get Marvin. You know, Marvin's, you know, been struggling a little bit this year. Still, his confidence is not back from his knee. You could see it there when we had him the speed sweep. He's out in the open space, and he looked like Bambi, kind of having sea legs out there. Where last year I think he would have just taken that thing to the house, kind of overthinking everything. But that's, you know, to get Body, to get Darius May, Marvin Kinsey, some quality minutes today, I think that's going to build confidence for them heading into the bowl game and hopefully into next year.
Your defense gave up a touchdown the first drive, but they did not let it go south. How important was this game for them?
Well, I think it was big for our defense. It was big. We were banged up front on the defensive line. You know, we had a lot of guys that hadn't played a lot of snaps. Caleb Smith was playing inside today at 3 technique. Conrad Harker was playing defensive end, and really, you know, he's been on scout team all year, and he plays the wing on field goal. And so we were a little bit banged up, but I thought the guys responded. I thought they continued to play. I thought Evan Colorado and Josh Watson played good, and Darnell made a lot of plays inside.
Mike, I know it's right after the game, but do you have any thoughts on Josh Watson missing the first half of your bowl game?
Well, it's the rule. You know, if you get a targeting penalty, you're going to have to sit out the first half of the next game because he had it in the second half. And like I told him after the game, you're going to be our secret weapon that we'll unleash in the second half of the bowl game.
Fully recognize you have one more game left, but this was Nick Stevens' last game here. How would you characterize your relationship with him as a quarterback? It's a different role as a head coach.
Yeah,
but how is it different, and how is it similar?
Well, I get to be a little bit nicer
others?
than when I was a position coach. But he, you know, I think he knows how much I appreciate him and what he is about. Like I just went out there to make sure I found his mother and told him, you know, y'all did a great job with your son. You raised a great one, and not just the football and him overcoming, but that kid's made of the right stuff. He's going to be successful in everything. Just extremely proud. You love to coach, and you love to see kids go through adversity and then to overcome it and come out better on the back end. And Nick Stevens, he's going to be able to handle anything. I really believe that.
Is that the way Mike Bobo did it
Huh?
last year?
Say it,
The way Mike Bobo did it his last year?
Well, I mean, you got support from not just your coaches, but your players and your family. And, these teammates have been there for Nick. He's got a great wife. He's got a great family. And, and sometimes you got challenges. And I think it's good when you get, faced with challenge and you get told that, hey, you're not the guy. I was told I wasn't the guy, and it's humbling, when you sit on, and the first thing you want to do is, sometimes point fingers and human nature to say, hey, it's not my fault. And, my dad was a high school coach and been a coach all his life. And, he wanted to side with me instead of side with the coaches. It's like I told Nick I said, your family loves you and everybody outside loves you. I said, but you got one coach. You listen to me, we'll be okay.
Mike, when you look back when you got here with Nick and started with him, did you see him as a guy who would have 7 300-yard games in a season, a guy who really
that this
never
year?
got hurt? Yeah. And durability as well.
Well, Nick, he's got some size, but he is a little bit fragile. He doesn't have the greatest strength in the world. He's not the best athlete in the world. But his moxie or he's got great toughness. I mean, he'll stand in there and he'll deliver balls. He's got mental and physical toughness. And the thing I'm so proud about him, he's grown as a leader. He's always had a great temperament to be a quarterback because he doesn't get it too up or too down, but he's learned to take control of his team and demand excellence. And I think the way we played offensively is a direct result of his leadership, along with some other guys like Jake Bennett. But the quarterback's the guy, and he's done a great job of that, and we're going to miss that a lot.
Speaking of Jake Bennett, there was additional excitement on the field. Do you have to bring him back out or the team back out? Because I saw him walk in.
Yeah, well, Coach Davis told me, our strength coach, Ryan Davis, told me after the game, he said, Jake's about to propose to his girlfriend. I'm like, well, right now? So then I wasn't in a kind of hurry to get everybody off the field. And then we went inside and kind of had half the team out there and half not. And he's like, he wants to do it right now. So I made a quick little announcement, and I said, let's go outside and support Jake. And, I got you got a special relationship with a lot of players because you go through a lot and you grind and you work, and there's a ton of these seniors. But my first day on the job at the press conference, the first player I saw was Jake Bennett, and I remember he was in a sling. He just had shoulder surgery, I think, and that meant the world to me that this guy's here. I didn't recruit him, and coming off a successful season, and I went through change as a player, and that's difficult. You don't go to school just for the coaches, but you do go for the coaches a lot. And then, he had that change, but he was there. He's been all in since day one, and he's a guy that makes the most of his ability.
Coach, another senior, Deontay Clyburn. Is it emotional when you give him that hug, and how much does it mean, having him out there even though he's, not
Clyburn?
able? Yeah, Clyburn.
It's Deontay's been through a lot, and what Deontay has always been, he's been here for his teammates, and that says a lot about that young man too. When his dream's taken away from him, and and it's been tough, and taken away from him twice, but he still shows up every day. He's supportive. He loves his teammate. He loves being a part of this program. He wants to be a coach. I think he's going to be an outstanding coach and an outstanding mentor to young men.
Mike, sort of a tough crowd today with the fall break, but with the attendance, you guys set the program record for average attendance. Is that sort of what you had hoped for in the first year of the stadium?
Well, I mean, I thought the crowd was pretty good. I was great. I looked over there, and the student section was, almost full, and really just appreciate the fans that came out, fall break. And I know everybody's disappointed. I'm disappointed. I know our fan base is disappointed about the last 3 games before this one, but this thing's heading in the right direction. People that support Colorado State have got a lot to be proud of, not just this stadium, this university academically, this athletic department, our president, and we're proud to represent, this program. And, I just appreciate the people that came out today and set the school record in attendance, and we're going to set it again next year.
Mike, you've got some time off before the bowl game, and you don't know how much time off. But with this week, how cautious do you have to be with what you do with your team from here on out, and how much rest?
Yeah, I just told them that we'll have the senior brunch in the morning, and we have a study table from 1 to 3 tomorrow, and then we had scheduled meetings and a team run. I basically canceled that. I said if one person doesn't show up for study table, then we'll have a team meeting and we will practice. So we've got 3 days we'll be here, and we'll do a little bit of work on Monday, mostly with the developmental guys. Tuesday we'll actually lift and run, and then we'll use tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday morning to catch up on some studies academically, because when we come back, we got 2 weeks of school left, and we're going to focus on academics, and then when we find out what bowl game we're going to go to, we'll get a plan of how we're going to practice and how we're going to get ready. And then coaches are going to go start recruiting.
Dalen became the third leading rusher in program history today. I know he's a guy who you praise a lot, but maybe flies under the radar a little bit in the media. Just what has Dalen meant for this program this season?
Dalen is the heart and soul of this football team. Dalen doesn't say much, really doesn't say anything. And Nick Stevens gets a lot of accolades, 300-yard passers, the all-time touchdown leader, Michael Gallup. But Dalen Dawkins is the heart and soul. The toughness of this offense is a direct reflection of Dalen Dawkins. And here's a guy I've talked about him since day one to you guys in the media that covers us every day. And he has gotten better every single year. He is a complete back. I've been around a lot of backs, coached a lot of good backs, and this is one of the most complete backs that I've ever been around. He can run between the tackles. He can run outside. He can pass protect. He can catch the ball in the backfield, and he's totally unselfish.
What was the first day that he changed your impression of him? Because when you first looked at him, you even told us he's a little small for this.
Yeah.
But now he's the toughest guy in the world.
Yeah, when I got here, we had a bunch of small backs. I've never seen as many small backs on a roster, and I'm used to some bigger backs, and it was important that we went out and signed Izzy Matthews in that first class. But you can't measure that kid's heart by his size. You can't. And it was just how he would pass protect, how he would hit the hole. I've never seen him flinch. And Coach Applewhite, he'll always have him in there because of pass protection. I've said, this guy's going to hurt himself. He tries to hit linebackers so hard. Let's just get him out. If I asked him to carry it 50 times, he would carry it 50 times. If I asked him to block every time, he would. And he's just the way he practices, the way he approaches practice, he's nonstop. And, I could show him every day to our team how to do individual, how to do special team reps, how to do team reps. Everything is full speed, and that's why he's improved every year. That's why he's one of the most complete backs I've ever been around. I mean, I don't know who's going to win first team. Penny's a great back, but this guy ought to be a first team All-Mountain West, in my opinion, no doubt.
Do you think it'd be safe to say that he's been the MVP of the offense?
I think that's a great. Gallup gets a lot of, credit offensively, and Nick Stevens does too. I mean, I think we got 3. Maybe 4 with Jake Bennett. And those are 4 guys we're going to lose off this offensive football team. So I'm going to enjoy having a chance to coach one more game with those guys. But, what we've done offensively and being able to run the ball and throw the ball and be balanced. I mean, it was 300 today. And Dalen sets all that up. I mean, we can come out in a game and say we're going to start with a run, or we can come out and say we're going to start with a pass. And Dalen is a factor in both of those, and he is a weapon. All right, guys, thanks.
Thanks, David.